Near a great forest lived a poor woodcutter and his wife. They had one little daughter, only 3 years old, and their cupboards were emptier each day. The parents loved the child more than life itself, but love could not fill her bowl. One morning, the woodcutter went into the trees with a heavy heart. As he raised his axe, a tall woman appeared before him, radiant and calm, wearing a crown of shining stars. Her voice was gentle as birdsong. "I am Mary," she said, "mother of the child Jesus. Your sorrow has reached heaven. Give me your little girl, and I will care for her as my own." The woodcutter trembled. Yet when he thought of his daughter's hunger, he bowed his head and agreed. Mary led him home, and the parents, with tears falling like rain, placed their child into her arms. In that moment, the forest seemed to breathe a softer air, as if the world itself promised the child safety. Mary carried the girl to heaven, where the child grew in brightness and joy. She wore simple white dresses, ate sweet fruit, and played in gardens that never withered. Angels watched her games, and every night she slept peacefully, free from fear. Years passed. When the girl was 14, Mary called her one day and said, "Dear child, I must go on a long journey. While I am away, you will keep these keys." In her hand was a ring of 13 keys, each one shining like a small star. "These keys open the 13 doors of heaven," Mary explained. "You may open 12 doors and see the wonders inside, but the 13th door is forbidden. This little key belongs to it. Do not open it, or unhappiness will come to you." The girl promised quickly. She truly meant it. When Mary left, the girl walked the bright halls of heaven with the keys at her side. Curiosity soon tugged at her like a quiet thread. She opened the first door and saw marvels beyond words. Behind another door were holy figures filled with light. Door after door revealed beauty, peace, and glory that made her heart feel both small and full. Only the last key remained, the one Mary had warned her about. At first, the girl held it tightly and turned away. But each day the forbidden door seemed to call her name. Just one glance, she thought. "I won't touch anything. I only want to know." Finally, with trembling fingers, she placed the key into the lock. The door opened. Inside was a blaze of heavenly radiance, deeper and more powerful than anything she had seen. Awed, she lifted her hand and, without thinking, reached toward the light. The moment her finger brushed it, her fingertip turned to gold, shining like a tiny flame that would not wash away. Panic seized her. She shut the door at once and hid her hand in her sleeve, her heart pounding like a drum. When Mary returned, she looked into the girl's eyes and said softly, "Dear child, did you open the forbidden door?" The girl felt the weight of truth in her throat, yet fear was heavier. "No," she whispered. Mary asked again, and again the girl denied it. A third time Mary spoke, and a third time the girl lied though. Her golden fingertip burned with silent proof. Mary's face filled with sorrow. "You have disobeyed," she said, "and worse, you have chosen falsehood. You cannot remain here." At those words, the girl fell into a deep sleep. When she woke, she lay alone on the cold earth in the middle of a wild forest. Her heavenly clothes were gone. The wind cut through the trees. She called out, but no sound came. Her voice had left her, as if the lie had locked it away. For a long time she wandered, surviving on roots, berries, and wild herbs. At last she found shelter inside a hollow tree. Seasons turned. Her hair grew long, and her hands grew rough. But her face remained strangely beautiful, like a memory of light that hardship could not erase. One day, a king rode through the forest hunting. His dogs led him to the hollow tree. When the king saw the silent maiden, he was astonished. He tried to speak with her, but she could not answer. Still, her gentle eyes and sorrowful calm moved him. He brought her to his castle, dressed her, in fine clothes, and in time married her, though she remained mute. A year later, she gave birth to a son. That night, Mary appeared in the queen's chamber, glowing quietly beside the cradle. "Confess," Mary said. "Did you open the forbidden store?" The queen's heart shook. She wanted to admit everything, but old fear returned. She could not speak the truth. She could not speak at all. Mary looked at her sadly, lifted the child, and vanished. By morning, the baby was gone. Whispers spread through the castle like smoke. Some said the queen was bewitched. Some said she had harmed her own child. The king defended her, but doubt clung to the shadows. The next year, she bore a second son. Again, Mary came. Again, she demanded the truth. Again, the queen remained trapped in silence, and Mary took the child away. When a third child was born, a daughter, the same thing happened. This time, the people's fear turned to fury. The king's counselors insisted the queen must be punished. Though the king's heart broke, the law was set. The queen would be taken to the stake. On the day of judgment, the queen stood before the crowd, pale and trembling. As the guards prepared the ropes, her eyes lifted toward the sky, toward the place she had once called home. In that final moment, something inside her cracked open like ice in spring. Oh, if only I could speak, she thought. If only I could tell the truth. And suddenly her voice returned. "I opened the forbidden store," she cried, tears streaming down her face. "I lied to my holy mother. I deserve punishment, but I beg for mercy." At once, Mary appeared beside her, holding the 3 children alive, healthy, and shining with life. "Because you have repented," Mary said, "your sin is forgiven." She placed the children into the queen's arms, and peace fell over the crowd. The king rushed forward, weeping with joy. The queen, no longer silent, told him everything: her disobedience, her fear, her long regret. From that day on, she lived humbly and truthfully, cherishing her family as a gift she had nearly lost. And though she never forgot the golden stain on her finger, it reminded her of a better treasure than curiosity, the courage to speak the truth.